Hi, this is Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about 6th edition and abandoning balance. Alright, so this is my supposition for how 6th edition Dungeons & Dragons would be made better by abandoning balance, right? So another idea I'm giving forward that should go into the 6th edition build as it's either being built now or a little bit into the future, okay? Alright, so abandoning balance. So right now, Dungeons & Dragons is constructed to start everybody as balanced characters, right? First level, so let's say you have a dungeon master, and Sally, and 4 players, and she has these 4 players, right? Her 4 players are going to be first level. That is the general build. The game absolutely constructs a platform on which you could say, okay, they're all 4th level. Each player character is 4th level. But what the game doesn't do is it does not encourage or have anything within its structure that allows 2nd, 6th, and 14th, right? Now, why do we need that? Well, the fact that Dungeons & Dragons right now is built on a balanced platform, assuming and actually structuring all the encounters and everything else, from the assumption that every single player character is the same level, right? This is a bad idea because this creates certain stories within the Dungeons & Dragons settings and really prohibits other stories from within the Dungeons & Dragons settings. And the stories it's prohibiting are much better than a balanced set, right? Let's talk it through, right? Dungeons & Dragons is fundamentally built on Tolkien's work, right? Which I think is great. Some people have beef with that. I love Tolkien's work. I think it's totally fine. It's a rock solid foundation, right? But if you look at it, right, let's just look at the Fellowship of the Rings, right? Bilbo, Gandalf is not the same level as Bilbo, right? Thorin is not the same level as Bilbo, and Bilbo is not the same level as Samwise Gamgee, right? I would say Samwise Gamgee 2nd level, Bilbo 3rd level, Thorin 6th level, and maybe 8th level for Thorin. And then, said Dumbledore. Sorry about that. And then, of course, if you're talking about Gandalf, you're looking at a 14th level character, right? These characters are not even remotely balanced, right? They're not balanced at all, right? And so that's what I'm saying is we really need to move away from this, right? We need to make it so that we can tell these really compelling stories that are out there that are not balanced. Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi is not the same level as Han Solo. Han Solo, so I'll give them to you, right? I think in Star Wars Episode 4, Luke is 2nd level, right? Han Solo is like 5th level. I would say Princess Leia is like 8th level, and again, you're talking 14th level for Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? That's like, and the other thing is, what about droids, right? How do you even deal with droids? So that's my point is, great compelling stories are not told with balanced characters, right? Now, today, I'm just saying we need to abandon balance, right? Now, what happens to the player base, right? Are they going to be able to handle this, right? Well, the answer is yes, because the reality is, who are the players for Dungeons & Dragons? The players are virtually all, at the macro level, they're all smart, artistic creatives. It's going to be fine, right? They can handle this, right? And so I think you really can do it. I haven't got, the question is then, how do you do this? Well, that would need to be worked out by the design team, and you would need to structure it. So some of the ideas I would just throw in there is, okay, some people are like, well, it's going to stink for this player to play a 2nd level character while this player is playing a 14th level character. And the reality is, I really believe, and I see this at my tables, right? You have some serious alpha level players. By the way, an alpha player is not a power gamer, right? They're two different things. An alpha player is someone who knows the rules really well, but also is aware of what's actually happening in the tabletop role-playing game, and is going to sacrifice to make the game better for everyone. If you have a player who's willing to sacrifice, they can play these lower-level characters and still have a ton of fun as they watch this great story unfold, while they allow less mature and more selfish players to play these more powerful characters, right? So, if you're trusting your player base, if the Dungeon Master is trusting the players, this can absolutely be done. And I really feel like we need this built into the game so that it's encouraging these type of stories. Because right now, the stories for Dungeons & Dragons are fundamentally less compelling because they're coming from this structure that isn't realistic from a narrative perspective. In the best narratives in the world, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, these are not balanced characters. Like the players, no one in any compelling narrative is saying all my characters need to be starting at the same level, right? It just doesn't help for compelling narratives, right? So one of the things you could do is you could allow the player to have maybe more narrative control, or the Dungeon Master to give them control the games in ways that previously they didn't have control, to make up for the fact that they have less power on the power base. Now, actually, that's me coming back and trying to balance it already, right? Because I can hear people like knocking at the screen, going, "This is wrong. It needs to be balanced," right? Or you just let it not be balanced, and you trust that the player base is going to understand that to tell compelling narrative stories, we need not balanced characters. Balanced in that, they're all starting at the same level, and and you could even go even further in this, in that the classes could not be balanced, or even the races could not be balanced. Some are just more fundamentally powerful than others, right? And I think we're actually ready for this, right? I think in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, people really didn't get a sense of what was happening. But, Dungeons & Dragons came out in 1974. Now it is 2018. The game is 44 years old, right? 44 years old, right? And we know where we're heading, and there are thousands of players, I think, that would be more than willing to do this, to create these narratives. And once they saw how compelling these new narratives were, and how much they look like real stories from compelling books and movies and video game stories, they'd be more willing to do this. So I really feel for 6th edition, we need to abandon balance, right? Please consider liking and subscribing. Take care.